Good evening, Mission Control. Well, I was up really late last night working about 12:30 in the morning, and woke up again at 5:30 to go back to work. So I'm a little tired tonight, so I figured I owe you guys a question and answer video tonight. So I went and did some work. Mrs. Martian and I had to go out and plant the seed tonight, and I figured I'd come up here. She's finishing up, and I'd get this video in for you guys. See if I can't answer some of the questions. There's lots of questions, and as you know, I do try to follow along with your comments as best I can and answer them on the videos. But there's a lot of really good ones, so I tried to choose some tonight. And if you guys respond to this video with more questions and such, I'll try to grab them all right off of this video, so you can actually, and I'll try to do another one if you have more specific questions. Maybe I don't get to them all. So let's see if we can go ahead and jump in here. First, with regards to the solar panels, are you putting a new tilt on the solar panel, and can you raise the solar panels to make it easier to keep free from snow? So these are great questions. The answer to them quickly is no. This year we're not. There's simply not enough time. And looking at all the projects we had this year, you would think, well, power is going to be up there right at the top. Actually, it didn't end up going to the top. I work full time, and when the snow was coming down as hard as it did last year, essentially it's a full-time job almost to be out there and stay on top of the solar panels. Now, if I was working from home and taking care of the ranch and that was my full-time job, I think that would be fine. You know, it's like in between cleaning the stalls or doing microgreens or building or whatever, I could run out there, kind of brush off the solar panels and stay on top of it. But when I'm at work all day, it definitely, you can't keep up with it. So the mounts that we have, basically we would have to take, well, in order to fix it, we have to take the entire solar panel array down. And that's a big job. That's a multi-day worth of job. It's not hard, just work. So it's almost better to leave this solar panel array alone and use it as our grid-tied array. And when we do HAB 2, to really focus on the fact that in order to operate through the snow, we need to raise it up by about 5 feet higher off the ground than what it is on the front edge. So this thing is going to be really high. And then we need to be able to have it articulate in the wintertime, if that's going to be a key thing that we want to do, being off-grid. You know, so that's where we'd like to go. But this year, we're definitely not going to be getting to it. Good questions. What about the fish? Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, so this is a good question. The fish are doing well. You saw, if you've been following along, we have rainbow trout. And we first got 372 or 375, something like that. Over 370 fish that we got when we first got them. And they range in size from 2 inches all the way up to 16 inches. And when we first got them, we had a big kill. I wouldn't say die-off. I would say kill. We actually ended up killing about 70 of them. Death by pump. We had an inlet cover, but they swam around the cover, the little ones. We actually blocked the entire inlet area off. And they swam around the screen that we put in place, and they decided that being really close to the pump inlet was like a really great idea. And I went out there one day and I had sardines. So that was the first die-off. We lost a few during the system cycling because we didn't know what we were doing. And we put a little bit too much ammonia in the system to get it kick-started. We lacked patience. We have since learned more about patience in this project than I care to mention. Those who have been following around know what I'm saying. And we had another die-off just recently that showed us another error in the system, which is when the power goes out on hot days, you really need to have a dead man switch. Something that says, hey, power's out now. You need to get your butt out there and check it because none of the water's flowing and all the fish are suffocating. So that lost 17 fish, and those are the ones that we have eaten. We haven't eaten them all. We ate the first 2. We froze the rest. And looking forward to trying them out again to make sure that they were good. So the first ones were really good. So we're not actually going to try to breed the fish this year or last year. We're just getting by right now with them. They're doing their job. We don't have aquaponics fully up and running, so if we add a bunch more fish, you need to add a bunch more plants, which means we have to have a bunch more lights, and we're going to have all that, but it's not installed yet, so not a key focus this year. But next year, hopefully we can get to the point where we can actually learn how to breed out the fish, which will require us building like a fish rodeo, fish roundup type of pen. Just like cattle, we'll have to round up the bucks and hens and then get them into stalls essentially, and then milk them and harvest the eggs and mix that all up in buckets, put it in a dark area with water, fresh water rolling over it, and then we can get them going. I mean, we know the steps, but you know, knowing is half the battle, doing is the other half. Okay, next one. Does D2 taste good? Okay, so last night we actually just got him all put in the freezer, and then tonight we actually had flank steak, and I will report very happily that he tastes very, very good. Meat is extremely tender. The flank steak, which I'm used to getting a little more linky, like stringy, not at all. You can cut it with a fork. Really, really good. And we didn't finish them on any grain. We use hay the entire time, and I just started giving them more and more hay, and came out really good. Thanks for asking. Next question: do you have to use food grade hydrogen peroxide when sanitizing the trays? I don't know if the answer is yes, like legally, but I'm guessing it is. We do use food grade hydrogen peroxide when we sanitize everything. That is our chosen sanitizer. It's less toxic than chlorine or bleach, easier to use, so that's what we use. You look a bit tired. I am. But we're almost there. November 11th is, I think, 87 days away. Right now we're looking like we're going to complete on time, but we chose to put our heads down this year and just get it done, and that's what we're doing. So it's coming along. How's the clan gathering? How did it go? The clan gathering, aka the family reunion, was fantastic, like it is every year. It's just a blast having family. We all pretty much get along, which is awesome, and just amazing. I'm so thankful to God for the family that He placed me in, and so thankful for all of you in my family. So for those watching, but yeah, it was a great time. We sat down, we had amazing food, we had lots of good drinks and lots of good talking, just catching up. It was really hot, so we sat in the pool a lot and just relaxed and spent time with each other. Good old-fashioned family values came through. It was just really awesome. Thanks for asking. With the heater going in, does this mean you're not wearing your thermal suit this winter then? I know you meant that facetiously. Of course you know I'll be wearing my Martian suit. There's no way I'm walking outside without that thing on. Can the propane building heater that you're getting run the methane off the digester after the digester is up and running with little to no changes on the heater? And the answer is yes. Propane heaters can be converted to run off of natural gas, which is what the digester produces essentially, and you have to change the orifice size on it. I think you have to make it larger, and you just have to buy the parts to do that or drill it out yourself. Where did you get the design of the concrete forms for the digester? That came from Puxin, P-U-X-I-N. You can look them up. They're actually very easy to work with. They have a nice catalog, and they've actually upgraded all their stuff. They actually have some nice above ground stuff now that's pretty enticing. Any concern with heat buildup inside the new automation boxes because it's relatively low voltage? Is that not an issue? And the answer is no. I don't have any concerns regarding heat buildup right now. The box is not airtight. It is made out of plastic. And there's enough spacing in between everything. I use to allow it for the air to move through there and not like sink in one particular place. I also use metal standoffs, which help move heat away. So nothing is like bolted directly to the box. There's actually I think it's 1/4 inch. That's going to be like what, 4 millimeter, like a centimeter essentially, off of the bottom of the box for spacing, so air can move in there. Okay, my next sequence of questions are going to look like I'm on Mars because my light just went out and I've got to use backup lights and I got no more batteries. I guess it's time to get more batteries. Okay, next question is, why do you fill the trays so full? Everyone I know that does microgreens only uses ½ inch or so. Well, it's a good question. The primary reason that we fill them so full is to make sure we have a very nice level top and we get as much product harvested as possible. If you put the microgreens down ½ inch, well, that's ½ inch of material that either A, you have to wait longer until it gets higher, or B, you lose when you cut it. And microgreens are like green gold. You know, you want every single bit of weight that you can possibly get. Hey guys, come on! Can't you see I'm filming here? I tell you, no considerations. Anyway, they're like green gold, so you want to harvest as much of it and get as much of it back as you possibly can. You don't want to waste any, so that's why we put it up that way. Now, we used to have 2-inch trays and quickly learned the same lesson, like, why are we putting all this weight in, or all this dirt in here? Sophie, come on now. Sorry. They just want to be on camera. Yeah, you're tough, we know. Come here. Here. I don't think everyone's met you. Come here. Come here. Yes. All right. Everybody, this is Sophie. Say hi, Sophie. Ah, there goes my paper. Hi, Sophie. There she is. All right. You want to get down. Yeah. Martian's job is never done. Anyway, so we used to use the 2-inch trays, and for the same reason that you're bringing up, like, why would we fill 2 inches? We don't need 2 inches. That's unnecessary. So we went down to the 1-inch trays, and if we could, we go down smaller, like a ½ inch tray if they made it, and only fill that. That's all you really need. But we don't want to waste that stuff that grows below the cut line. Sophie's crazy. Now she's got everybody involved. It's the wind, guys. You're barking at the wind. Okay. Have you looked at the I2C bus system? Yeah. Okay, so funny story here. I tried that ESP8266 chip, and if you watched the last video, or 2 videos ago, I talked about the fact that it wouldn't work. It was too finicky. The software libraries were just way too unstable for me to put into a production environment. And so I learned about I2C bus, and I actually connected the Arduino Wemos, which is the one that has the integrated Wi-Fi chip in it. I connected it via the I2C bus over to the Mega, and the Wemos is now the master, and the Mega is now the slave. So the Wemos is the computer board. It does everything. It talks to the server, it does all the calculations, and the Mega is like specific to the lane. It has all the I/O in it, and the Wemos is just sending signals over to it and saying, hey, send me this information, and then the Mega serves up that information over to the Wemos, and that is it. So, those are the questions that I have tonight. Thanks everybody for following along. Sorry I'm a little bit tired, a little bit out of it. Tomorrow's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you had a great time, and since the reunion just got over, I miss everybody, and I hope all of you out there are able to spend time with your family and loved ones. It's important. Get ready for the eclipse. It's coming up, and that's all I got tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video and the Q&A and the barking dogs in the back that I can't get to stop. It's a beautiful evening here. That's why I wanted to come outside, a few little mosquitoes, and just have a nice little conversation with you guys. So yeah, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And remember, put your questions on this video, and I will try to grab them and do another Q&A here quick within the next few days, so I can get your guys' questions if I didn't get them. In the meantime, this is Real Martian. Out. Sophie, be quiet. Come on, really? My goodness. Can't you see I'm trying to make a movie here? Anyway, out.